It's Brandon Scott, and with me, the president of the Palladino Auto Group, Vince Palladino. Vince, how are you?
I'm okay, Brandon. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Now, let's dive right in. Tell me about the Palladino Auto Group. How have you adapted to today's situation?
Yeah, it's been obviously challenging times for everybody in retail. We've been deemed essential services on the service side of the business and the fixed ops, which is parts and service. So we've always been open in those departments on the auto side of our group. On the sales side, it's been a bit more challenging. Obviously, we're deemed to be able to transact via e-commerce, but that has a few barriers in regards to our regulatory bodies in Ontario and obviously the province's mandates of showroom closures. So, yeah, it's been quite the interesting 2-month period, I would say, if you want to categorize it as a couple months. And I think we're evolving pretty well. I mean, I think we were pushing towards some sort of an e-commerce platform anyway with our group and in the industry overall. So it's not totally foreign to us, but I can tell you it's definitely a different feel when you walk into the dealership on a daily basis. And instead of having 100 staff, we've got 25 to 30. So that's been probably the most difficult part, is just having to lay off so many people and so many great people and employees. And these are certainly tough times for a lot of families. So we tried to maintain employment levels the best we could and make use of government programs and subsidies. But that too has been a challenge. And the wage subsidy portal just opened yesterday, and we just applied for those. And across our group, it was almost about a 65% layoff of staff, which was over 300 employees. So some really brutal decisions and difficult times, but we're hopeful that we can bring back the majority of those, if not all of those employees in the near term, and that the government makes the right decisions, and ultimately that safety first for everybody, especially those that are continuing to work.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like it's been a tough pill to swallow for you so far, but what kind of safety precautions have you put in place?
We're basically closed to the public in most of our dealerships. There's a couple where you can actually walk in and there'll be a desk kind of, sitting, 15, 20 feet away from the service advisors. But most of the stores are actually closed, and we have a valet outside. So they'll help you park your vehicle. They'll take the keys from you. They'll pass the information along to the advisors. And then obviously once we do that, they're typically wearing gloves. If not, they're sanitizing the keys before they bring them inside. They have the key, they unlock the door, they walk in and provide the information to the advisors, and then the whole process starts. But it's basically, doors locked, and customers, we're doing curbside type business where it's either curbside parts pickup or it's just valet service. We're picking up vehicles as well and dropping them off for customers who require that. So we've really had to shift the way that we interact with customers. But to be candid, it's gone really well. I'm amazed at the understanding and the level of communication and cooperation between our customers and our staff. And I'd have to say, all in all, we've had very positive comments, and I think it's been a little bit of a lesson for both the customers and ourselves that we're able to communicate via text or email or telephone calls, as opposed to always having to be in person.
And I've also heard you also helped the Sudbury Fives athletic trainer Kim Bruce and her RVs for Healthcare initiative. What have you done so far, and what kind of inspired you to help out?
Yeah, that was I love that initiative from Kim. Obviously, we all have acquaintances, friends, and some of our staff's family members are frontline workers in the health services sector. So we know the jeopardy that they're facing, and walking back into their households as though nothing had happened and no exposure had been there is obviously is a difficult thing for all of those individuals to go through. So Kim asked if we could help out with some RVs. I love the idea. We're currently closed at the RV dealership because it's not an essential service. So we do have a couple RVs sitting around. So I think we've got 4 or 5 out on loan, and we're not the only ones in the city. So we didn't want it to be just about us. We just said, hey, anybody you can reach out to if you want some introductions in the industry, please ask away. And I think we've had a few players step up and assist with that as well. But anytime you can do anything for those who are risking everything to help all of us that are in this situation, we're happy to do so.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that I could say on behalf of Sudbury, thank you so much for helping Kim in her RVs for Healthcare initiative. But now I want to switch to more of a lighter note on what you have been doing to stay busy so far in this quarantine.
Yeah, I wish I wasn't as busy, but I'm probably as busy as ever. We just trying to navigate government programs and what each of our businesses qualify for. We're in the marina business with Walker's Point Marina in Muskoka. We've got Palladino RV here. We're in the body shop business with the Palladino Group, and then we've also got our auto group, which is 10 stores. And we're in London, Toronto, North Bay, Sudbury. So we're dealing with different reactions from each community. London was probably one of the first communities to react, and almost unanimously the dealerships shut down. We didn't feel that was the right thing to do. So there's been individual decisions in individual markets, keeping track of government programs, making sure we're compliant with regulatory bodies and how our OEMs want us to transact. And then on the digital front, the banks have got some of their own boxes that we have to check in order to do business. So to be clear, it's been probably as confusing a time as ever to be in the car business, and I'm working just as hard as I ever was, unfortunately.
And if you could tell me one thing, what would be the first thing you do when things get back to normal?
Well, I think we can all agree we've got some great family time in the last couple of weeks, so that's been awesome. I just can't wait to get out on the golf course and walk this earth and play the game that I love, and get my son out there with me, and maybe my father, and have 3 generations back out on the Idlewild. That's I was born and raised there, grew up there. We have great attachments to the Idlewild, and so yeah, just springtime. It's being a golf fan. No Masters, no live sports, no playoffs. I can't get disappointed by the Leafs losing in the first round again. So yeah, we're crazy for any sports right now, anything live and anything we can do in person.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully we can see you out on the green sometime soon. Thank you so much, Vince, for joining me.
Yeah, well, happy to be a part of it, and cool that you're doing this, getting everybody communicating again, and happy to be a part of the Wolves and everything that the Zulich family's doing there.